Hey guys, it's me Chandra again, and today's video is about Arlecchino post-release review. So in here mostly I state what is my positive and negative experience while using Arlecchino almost around 10 days, something like that. And then also in the end I will do the build recap. I will state also a little bit about the early constellation, and I will also do in the end like what I changed my mind or I changed from my statement from pre-release and after release. Is there something that changed? So let's get started. First, I will start with the things that I really like in Arlecchino, which is flexible in the team comp and reaction. Yes, Arlecchino is one of the type of character that flexible give me similar vibe like Nivelette, where you can just put like mostly just whatever that quite random, even like Overload with Vaporize, you just mix there and it actually still works and it doesn't feel so bad. I even try like Overload with double Chio, which is Chiori and Zhongli, something like that. It surprisingly also work. And that's actually pretty nice considering like mostly Pyro pretty restrictive in like we can say mostly Vaporize a lot of characters just with Vaporize. Arlecchino of course still I think one of the best still in Vaporize reaction. However, if you try to out from that Vaporize, it still actually can work pretty good. Not as good as Vapor, but it still feels good. Second, Arlecchino is step character that no burst reliant, which is I really like it because it eliminates one of the problem, which is ER, and I basically really like it because we know that the elemental burst only useful for the survivability. If you just care about damage, burst basically doesn't give you damage. In fact, it will give you even slower clearance because burst mostly only for your survivability. And because of that, because I rarely use the burst, probably only emergency case, I almost have no any trouble with like just thinking about ER and I'm fine like wow, this is actually so nice. Next, Arlecchino feelings pretty good and convenient in terms of exploration because as far as I know, she has infinite amount of pyro application as long you still have this bond of life. So her bond of life basically just work like gun ammo. So whenever you see the bond of life almost gone, just do skill again, charge attack to the enemy, you recharge again, right? So basically in overall you can just have unlimited pyro application and pretty much convenient that you have to only rely on normal attack, and an enemy in world is pretty much just fragile and quite weak, so it's very easy to defeat. So because of it, it's very nice. Also you want to light up the torch, pretty convenient too. Also have this one wing sprint right by tapping like charge attack, and it's pretty fast too, and I feel like pretty good overall. A negative experience, nothing really major, but this is only small or minor issue that I want to state in here, which is first, missing charge attack can be annoying to be honest, because if you don't pay attention, her charge attack somehow it can be a good opening for you to deal quite the amount of damage, especially if you already have C2, and I already have C2. Her charge attack right now is very important because it will give you nuke damage, where I know if you miss sometimes it's just like pain in your heart because that you just feel you waste that nuke damage, especially if you have C2, and I feel like in here it's a little bit annoying. And also you will not get the effect I think from Bone of Life, especially if you have the signature, and that's also quite sad. But in the end, it's nothing really major, but it's just like a little bit annoying. And second, this is mostly only skill issue by each player, and I have this kind of skill issue, which is I sometimes forgot to pay attention on Arlecchino HP, especially like I'm still not used to that Arlecchino cannot heal, especially if I put Bennett and I know I already in circle I will not die, and I just forgot, yeah, Arlecchino cannot heal. So sometimes when I HP already like very low, I forgot to use burst, but yeah, turned out to be not, and I died. And the next part, which is this is actually not from me, but I still gathered like some of the feedback, which is some people say they don't really enjoy Arlecchino gameplay because they say like in the end it's just like normal attack, nothing really happened. Which is I can agree, I can understand for some point. I really have friends also that don't really like this type of playstyle where you only need to click normal attack, and they actually still like the way like play like Huta with charge attack. Maybe they find that's more, I can say, fun, but in the end I say it's just matter of preferences. Some people will like it, some people will not like it. Even for me, I already said I don't really like Futao type of playstyle, but I enjoy more like Arlecchino. But in the end, I still pretty much already say agree on some capacity where I feel like maybe if they want to make a future character that's similar like Arlecchino, maybe they don't just put everything all out in normal attack. Maybe make a little bit different mechanic to feels like it's not just like normal attack tapping frenzy, something like that, and maybe it can improve, which is I feel it's good feedback for them to make it better in the future kit. And let's hop into build recap. We will start with the 5-star weapon. First, the best one, of course, the Crimson Wounds, because of course that's the signature weapon, give you crit rate. And the effect is actually pretty good, but I just realized when you want to get the Bone of Life, you have to hit the charge attack to the opponent which is I already mentioned before, the a little bit annoyance if you miss your charge attack, sometimes a little bit sad. So this is a little bit like quite like annoying if you miss your charge attack to the enemy. But overall, this is still pretty much a best one among all. And also I already mentioned Primordial Jade Wing Spear can be a second best alternative after the signature weapon. Overall, in any reaction, you don't need to care, like this is just a good comfy weapon that you need to go. Scarlet Sense already mentioned, pretty good, especially if you play in Vaporize and you put like EM Sense, that's also still pretty good. Also Staff of Homa still pretty much good, as close as Primordial Jade Wing Spear, so you can use that. Other than that, if you maybe have Calamity Queller, is still also pretty decent. It has high off attack percentage and still can be usable. And other than that, if you may be using Shield, Vortex Vanquisher can be a good option too. For the 4-star weapon and below, I will start first with the free-to-play, the most accessible, which is White Tassel. This is the best one for the all free-to-play player because it gives you normal attack damage and very accessible for everyone, gives you crit rate also that good. So this is the best line for free-to-play for you to choose. But other than that, if you don't want to use that, then you can use Missive Wind Spear. It's still pretty much decent weapon, give you attack and give you more bonus after you trigger the elemental reaction. Other than that, if you maybe pay Battle Pass, that match still a good option for you to equip, especially if you have R5. And maybe if you pay another Battle Pass and you have another like Polearm, the Ballad one, that's also good, especially if you play in the Vaporize team, something like that, still. And the next one, which is Black Cliff Wall, this is still good, also gives you crit damage. Other than that, if you maybe want to play in Leo team only, Lytics feel still okay, although I still mention that I think Arlecchino time to time I play in Double Hydro is not the best, it's not same like Hu Tao. So I don't think that will be the best team, but if you want to use it, then sure. For artifact sets, basically nothing changed from pre-release, but there's a couple things that I want to rephrase my word, which is, of course, I will start what is the best artifact set, the Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy. Yes, this is the best of Arlecchino artifact set, because of course 2-piece give you attack, and of course 4-piece when your Bone of Life increase and decrease, it will give you more damage. Yeah, that's actually very good. However, I just do the comparison later, you can just check my video. The difference is not that we can say super huge or wow, like it's not like as impactful like Fischl from 2-piece and move to Golden Troop. It's not something like that. So in here, because my Gladiator turned out to be a little bit better of the stat, the difference with the Gladiator and this Harmonic Whimsy is just small amount. And you know, I only get small upgrade and I burn already how much? 40 of Condensed Resins. And I feel that's too expensive for just small upgrade itself. So in order for these sets to become the best one, you need also have the same CV with your previous Gladiator set. So if your Gladiator set, let's say, already have 50 CV, that means that will take very long time for you to get a good upgrade for your Arlecchino and stuff, because if not, your Gladiator is still pretty much better. But assuming they are in the same stat, then yes, Harmonic Whimsy still pretty much provide you a decent amount of upgrade. So all in all, my recommendation if you want to farm this domain, I only recommend if you're already endgame player that have nothing else to farm. If you may be early player or mid-endgame that still want to upgrade another character, let's say Furina or Xiangling, something like that, better to farm other domains than this domain, because the upgrade, I don't think it will be that worth. It's decent but not that amazing. And the next set that I already mentioned, which is the Gladiator Vienna, this is the second best and still I can say still very good sets for Arlecchino. 2-piece give you attack and of course will increase your. Other than that, you can actually use Semi-Hour Reminiscence. This is still not bad, but the problem with this set is that it will take 15 energy after you use elemental skill. That means if you're dying, you cannot get healed back. So you're playing in the very risky state. So if you find like taking risk, something like that, then sure. But for me, I don't prefer like that. If you want to play in high risk, then sure, you can go risk. This is still pretty much a good set too. And the last choice, if you want to go for 4 pieces, which is the classic Pyro DPS, Crimson Witch of Flame, yeah, this is still decent, but I still prefer for you to just go with Gladiator or the Harmonic Whimsy. Other than that, if you maybe don't have any 4-piece sets yet, don't worry, just do the alternative set 2-piece mix combination between of any attack percentage, let's say like Gladiator, Harmonic Whimsy still okay, and 2-piece of like Pyro damage like Crimson Witch of Flame, or even EM sets like Wanderer's Troop, that's also still viable. As for main set, also nothing changed from pre-release, still pretty much the same. For the senses, either attack or EM, depends if you more care about Vaporize, and you can go for EM, but in general, I just go for attack for just any general use. For sure, Goblet just go Pyro damage bonus, but if you have a very good maybe attack percentage, then you can just go, but of course in general, 2 still Pyro damage bonus. And for the circuit, always classic. If you need crit rate, then go for crit rate. If you need crit damage, then go for crit damage. For the subscribe, prioritize, of course, just classic critical rate, critical damage, EM or attack percentage also can be good. Now we move to the constellation section. In here, I will finalize my review about this both constellation for the early constellation, and maybe if you wonder for the signature weapon and stuff. And yes, I believe C1 still very amazing constellation for Arlecchino. It just improved a lot. It's basically almost like 20k per hit increase, and that's actually huge. Also give you quality of life, your resistant interruption just increase. This is just so nice. I believe this is one of the best C1 in a while. I usually C1 only quality of life, rarely increase damage, usually only increase but not much. Usually they will make good in C2, but Arlecchino is no, C1 already very good, and I feel like this is a very good C1 constellation in a while. So if you wonder which one is better, I still believe C1 is still better from the signature weapon itself. For C2, I think I overvalue this C2. This C2 overall is still very good constellation all in all because it gives you high front load damage. So basically the C2 effect is when you do charge attack, it will have additional thorn that gives you nuke damage. So if you can utilize this, especially if you can trigger Vaporize, they can deal high damage. In my case, it can deal even like 200k and above, which is that great. But there's one of the annoyance in here is that if you miss your charge attack, basically you didn't get any bonus damage in here. So that's why I say like a little bit annoying when I miss my charge attack. Basically my C2 is just useless, and sometimes I feel like but yet still it gives you increased like elemental resistance, physical resistance, still pretty much for defensive, which is still good. All in all, this constellation is still pretty much a good constellation, and I see a big potential this constellation for speedrunner that people really like to speedrun like content in spiral base. I think it will be huge for you. But other than that, I want to change a little bit my mind. Like if you're just mostly just general player, casual player, then I don't think C2 will be better than signature weapon. So I will change my rank then. I will feel like C1 is better than signature weapon, but I think signature weapon a little bit better than C2. And a little bit notes for you, maybe some of you I just don't realize that if you want to increase your Arlecchino damage, just focus on normal attack, because skill and burst not really significant to improve your overall damage and overall. So if you want to make like huge improvement, just focus on normal attack, and after that skill. Burst you can even just forget. This is not the main source of damage. This is only for healing. And for team comp, in here I will talk like what team comp that I like to use lately. So this is not like overall I say what meta or not. This is mostly personal preferences. So the one that I use mostly, of course, I think people also use this for, which is the Arlecchino in Vaporize, which is Arlecchino, Kazuha, Yelan, and Bennett. I think this is overall very comfy team for you to use. But maybe some of you don't aware that you can, if you have Candice C6, then you can use Candice in here. For AoE content, it will be better actually, which is quite funny. But yeah, you need Candice C6, but I don't have Candice C6, so I cannot really literally show you how. But if you have Candice C6, this is actually can be a good team for Arlecchino. So it's even better than Yelan, that's surprisingly, but only in AoE content. But in general, yeah, usually people will choose Yelan, but of course, if you don't have Yelan, you can just choose Xingqiu in here. And other than that, I still like to play in Arlecchino overall, one still of my favorite. So Arlecchino official, Yaemiko, and Bennett. Official, sometimes if I want change, I will change to Beidou. But yeah, most of the case, I use official. And other than that, maybe if you want to just play like mixed reaction, then you can just do like Overvape, then Overload and Vaporize. This is still pretty nice also to use. Sometimes I do run in Spiral Beast too with this team. The next thing, this is very personal team that I like to use recently. I don't think this is the best, but I find like this is ridiculously can work. And actually work. I really try in Spiral Beast. In here, Arlecchino is only Chiori. This is double Geo, right? So Tamoto can have the full potential, and also in here you trigger like Yaemiko for the overload, and that's actually can work. And also maybe if you want to use like Vaporize with Yelan, it still will work. But I haven't tried because I'm biased. I really like Yai, so I just put Yai in here, and that's actually still works. Ridiculously work. And in the end, in here, I will state what is actually that I changed my mind, or I can say like there's things that I want to adjust from my pre-release thoughts to post-release thoughts, and there's a couple of them that I want to state, which is first Arlecchino best artifact sets, the Harmonic VMC. Yes, that's the best of her, but I think I a little bit overvalue, I overprice about this artifact set. Yeah, it's still the best one, it gives you decent upgrade, but it's not like something that you can say, wow, super amazing. It's good, it still gives you upgrade, but the things that you have to note, if you already have like, let's say like 50 CV of your gladiator, it will be have hard time for you to upgrade your harmonic, or even you will took very long time in order for you to get like a better harmonic whimsy that can excelling the performance of the gladiator itself. So because of that, I'm thinking I a little bit to overvalue this harmonic whimsy. It's still good. I feel that this is still good for you to farm, still worth if you endgame player, but if you still want to build another like character, I say already before, like better to farm another domain. Second, regarding the constellation, I think I a little bit overvalue C2. Before I say like C2 is a little bit better than signature weapon. Now I'm thinking I think signature weapon still better than C2. I already mentioned before that C2 basically only add effect when you do the charge attack. So basically if you miss your charge attack, you just miss your nuke damage, and that's quite unfortunate. I only can see this is very good if you're a speed runner. If you're not a speed runner, I think this is no way still pretty much a good increase of your all total damage, but it's not something that I feel consistent compared you just get like signature weapon. And the third that I mentioned, I say like Arlecchino probably is a little bit technical to play. I don't think she's that technical. Time to time you play, it's actually easier than Alhitam, because the things that you just need to wait a little bit and just do charge attack. It just mostly matter of you getting used to it, and I think it's not require you so much technical skill. It's a lot easier than Alhitam itself to play, which is I think good for casual. It's easier for you to adapt to. So yeah, that's everything about my thoughts about Arlecchino. So in the end, if you ask me should you pull for Arlecchino, I said if you still need a very good solid main DPS, especially in Pyro, then you can get for Arlecchino. But if you ask like in very meta way which one is better, Hu Tao or Arlecchino itself, I say in Z0 Hu Tao still better in terms of performance, because Hu Tao is just so easy to trigger like high damage. Arlecchino is not really constant to always trigger the vaporize damage. Hu Tao is very just easily. However, if you ask me which one that I will still go to Arlecchino. Why? Because I enjoy Arlecchino playstyle more. So in the end, I just say, just don't think about the damage thing, which one you enjoy the most. If you enjoy Hu Tao playstyle, then go for Hu Tao. If you enjoy more Arlecchino playstyle, then go for Arlecchino. So pretty much that's it. Overall, I would say Arlecchino is pretty much give me a positive review. I like her, I enjoy her. So yeah, if you like this video, feel free to drop a button like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.